If you're listening to my live stream, I apologize, cause I'm waiting for the chat to load up. Come on, YouTube, hurry up and load up. There we go. Now we're live now. There we go. Now we're live now. Just post this next chat here. All right, well, for those of you who are not live yet, but those of you who may be watching after this is released, tonight it is Sunday night, and we're just doing a Sunday fun night build. This coming up week, I am going to the Grafton Monster Festival in Grafton, West Virginia, where it is basically an excuse for a whole bunch of Fallout 76 fans to gather and meet up because of the fact that the Grafton Monster is featured in the game, and Grafton itself is featured in the game. They decided to meet there and cosplay, and I figured, what the hey, why not do something fun here? There is a file available for the Nerf rival Fate that makes it look like a laser pistol from Fallout, and the files are available to be sold commercially. I should say the prints are able to be done commercially. What is going on there, Respawn? Okay, all right, Foam After Dark Discord, all right, awesome. So, you know, I was deciding to say I'm opening up my store, which is called the Big Blaster Consortium. Speaking of which, my first listing is live on eBay now. It's not eBay, on Etsy now. So go check it out, Big Blaster Consortium on Etsy. Of course, tomorrow I will be going on Foam After Dark with somebody else as guest, because we're going to be making an announcement regarding that store and what you expect to see there. So, and how it's going to work out, because one of the products that we have listed, or actually the product that I have listed now, it's very familiar to some of you, and yeah, it will be for you all to hear from the horse's mouth as to why I am now offering that product. But in the meantime, as I was saying, Grafton is coming up this Thursday, and the laser pistol, it's something that is known throughout the Fallout universe. Those of you who've seen anything of my channel will know that I'm a Fallout fan. In fact, there's one Minuteman flag there, and there's a New California Republic flag right there as well. So yeah, I'm kind of a Fallout fan. So that being said, this will actually probably be going into the store. So yes, it is, if it is too realistic looking. They are cracking down a little bit. So for example, Lethal Dynamics, he had pictures of stuff that looked like actual weapons. In my case, my stuff will not look like weapons at all. So it's going to be more accessories than anything else, and actual Nerf toys. So for example, if I sell a fully assembled blaster, it is going to be in such vibrant colors that it's going to look obviously like a toy blaster. I'm going to put my glasses back on because I am very nearsighted, and that way I can read the chat. What is going on, Alex? That other dude's a bum. Oh my gosh, will you stop? Do not talk about him like that. Oh my gosh. So that being said, what we're working on is the Fallout laser pistol, and of course, to make that happen, you need to have a Nerf rival Fate. Now, these things are on sale at Ollie's. If you have an Ollie's nearby, they're like $4.99, and they're pretty cool little blasters. I mean, it's a shame that Rival seems to have kicked the bucket so far, but you know what? I'm gonna pick these up. I think I have like 7 of these laying around, so I may be able to make these. They're like $5 at Ollie's, and for $5 and a little bit of filament, you can make some really cool stuff. So that being said, tonight's live, obviously, it is being sponsored in part by Monster Energy Drink. They're not paying me to say this, but you know what? I need some caffeine. So This one is a mod, but you can actually upgrade the spring on these things. I do have a couple of them that I've upgraded, and they're pretty fun. You know, they're great, but it's a mod that you do get some performance upgrade, but not as much. Again, this one's specifically going to be sold as a DIY paint-it-yourself cosplay piece. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and get this out. Now, I actually have one of these that I'm painting right now. It's actually, the paint is drying in the garage. You know, and AJ, you've been at my home. You know the size of my garage. It's not very big. So my car's literally right now in the driveway while I paint, and Mrs. Normatico's car is in the garage. But yeah, so. Oh well. All right, now, of course, there's going to be some shell cutting with regards to this. Not a lot. I am going to have to find my snips and find out where they went, because I'm going to have to cut these off right here, as well as to take apart this blaster, because we're going to be taking out the rival aspect of it. It's not going to shoot rival rounds, and it's going to shoot half darts using this inline clip. Though I'll be honest with you, the half dart performance on this is not the greatest. You do get right around 80 to 90, but you get well over 100 when you actually use standard lengths on here, or 3/4 length darts. You're right, not with that many blasters that I have. So that being said, let's get to unscrewing this thing apart. Let's go ahead and switch down here real quick. It doesn't take too long to unscrew this. Now, what I will tell you though is that with this blaster, what we're going to do to make this happen is that we're going to actually have to cut off some parts of this blaster. So for example, we're going to be losing this targeting sight here, as well as these little fins back here. Everything else though is going to stay, and that's fine. Again, this is more of a cosplay piece than anything else. You could use this because it is going to be HVZ compliant at an HVZ event. In fact, at Athens, Ohio, later on this year, there's going to be a Fallout themed HVZ event, which, AJ, if you want to, you know, save the date, that way you can bring the fam out there. I'd love to see you, your brother, and your kids out there again. Definitely like to join the Usan clan and fling some fun with you guys. Well, the good thing, AJ, is that in this case, if the iron sight goes all over the place, guess what? Bye-bye iron sight. You're not using them. You don't use them in this build. So I do have an electric screwdriver somewhere around here. It's one of those things that I normally would be using that one, but there's a lot of stuff that's been going on lately around my table, and it's just, it is what it is. There's not that many screws on the Fate that I don't mind doing this. Now, if it was something like the long shot, the double dealer, and I mean the classic long shot, yeah, that's when I would definitely get out the big guns, so to speak, and pull out the electric screwdriver. Dropping screwdrivers all over the place. You know, they on the Fate, they were a little wobbly. The one that actually had some really good sights, though, from this particular line of the Rival series was the Pathfinder. I really like the sights on the Pathfinder and the Forerunner as well. The fact that you could change the elevation on the Pathfinder sight and the Forerunner was just chef's kiss as far as I'm concerned. Full auto flywheel of Fate. Jesus. So Adam, my foot is doing okay. I do have an open wound. The callus is still open, unfortunately. So I will be having to keep an eye out on it. The podiatrist said that, you know, from what they were to see, I spared myself from getting a massive infection, which is nice. My ankle, obviously, you know, I got to be very careful because they have found some massive, you know, signs of arthritis in there, which means they're going to be giving me some treatments in regards to that. The problem, you're right, the mag issue, but, you know, it's odd enough, I didn't have that issue with my Pathfinder. I know a lot of people say, you know, that they had that issue, but mine worked fine. I just flipped the mag backwards and it was okay. But it is what it is. But as I was saying about my foot, the arthritis, the problem that they have with me is that because of my liver transplant and the fact that my kidneys took such damage from my transplant, they can't give me the strongest medications for the arthritis. So it's kind of have to be one of those, I have to grin and bear it, which kind of sucks. Oh God, the Recon Mark II. That trigger issue on the Recon Mark II is what kills me about that thing. That trigger is like absolute dog water. All right, so obviously we're gonna be getting rid of this. And this barrel will be going as well. Now, technically I'm gonna be getting rid of this as well because it's not going to be shooting rival rounds. So let's knock that out. Yeah, the way they designed this thing, it's almost as if they wanted you to modify it. The fact that you can unscrew the air restrictor from here is just amazing. Get that out. And probably going to swap out this O-ring with a better one. There we go. All right, now, normally I would actually be painting these. However, this one is one that I'm going to be giving it to or selling it to somebody so that they can actually paint it if they want to. They can do their own custom color schemes. However, on my store, I will offer the following. You can either buy it assembled or painted. But the point is you're going to be getting the blaster as well as the actual 3D printed kits. So this is too tight of a fit here. Let's go back with the standard O-ring. All right. Now, one of the things, since y'all are watching here, I will tell you that anyone who buys anything from me, it is a lifetime guarantee on any 3D printed parts. This should tell you how strongly I feel about this. I'm building this for a friend of mine. This is combat armor from Fallout. One of these pieces, actually I'll show you what happened here. This is actually not built with my normal quality because I usually use more infill. So that little piece is very thin. One of these pieces that was a misprint, it broke because of the fact that it just got shattered. And I was only using like around 4 walls, but 15% infill, so not a lot, especially for something that small. When I adjusted the file, this is actually much more solid than the other one that broke. I ran over my vehicle with the piece that broke, and I can show you a picture of it. I'll probably put it on my community page, so you can see what happens when you run over one of my 3D printed parts with an 1,800-pound vehicle. The part survived. You can only see some little marks where like rocks kind of dug into the plastic. Other than that, no shattering, nothing. It is solid. So that is why I'm able to offer that guarantee and feel comfortable offering that for people. So, let's see here. I should have some slime around here. Where's my slug slime? Here it is, lubricant. Gotta lube my tube, if you will. Oh yeah, you like it, you little dirty girl. All right. Anyways, so this will go like so. Of course, we need to cut this piece right here. Actually, we need to cut a lot more because this part needs to come off completely, I believe, if I recall right. Yep, it does. There we go, and that should pretty sure fits right there. This is the problem that you get. So that should be just fine like that. Yep, that works. Okay, so that's where we need to cut off, and then we cut off this piece right here on the side. And that's it. All right. Yes, I was lubing my tube. In public, too. In public view. Just leaving my tube in front of all of you on the internet. I ought to put this on only Blaster fans. Alright. Something with this side. Yeah, so the Spring and the Fate, it's pretty good. I think that it really just takes a K25 or K26 upgrade, and you can get this thing to hit easily 130 with just a rival round. So it's a pretty good little blaster to mod. And it's so versatile too. You can print out a new. One of these that I have, I'm gonna actually print out the conversion that allows it to shoot Mega XL, because I like the idea of a single shot Mega XL blaster that's not the big rig. And they do have a mod for this, which is a modular barrel swap system. I mean, I've tried to print it out so many times, and it keeps on breaking because of the fact that when you twist the barrel on, once you twist it on, the slightest little thing will cause the threading to break, and you have to reprint it again. And I've tried printing that with as many perimeter walls as possible and infill. It's a bad design. That's something that Ghost, you might know what I'm talking about here. It's kind of like the Crocuta with the massive, long, decorative barrel that they give you with it that is reverse threaded, and if you just slightly apply too much pressure on it, it snaps right in half. I'll figure I'll share a funny story. Ghost is a member of Conk, who he actually used to do my 3D prints for me before I got my 3D printer set up, and you know, he basically taught me almost everything I know about 3D printing. And he printed out the Crocuta for me the first time, which is one of Hingyip's designs, and the barrel on it, it broke just from me trying to twist it on and then twist it off. And then he's like, there's no way. And then like he brought it to me one time, or he reprinted it and brought it out to me, and then he saw it and he went to go twist it on, and sure enough, it broke on him as well. And it was the funniest thing. Yes, this is the Fallout Fate thing. At which point in time, he then just took that, and I don't want to say threw a temper tantrum, because it wasn't a temper tantrum, it was comedic is what it was. It was like, this sucks, and just chucked it out into the field where we were going to go play later on. And that was just a funny story, because that it stuck with me ever since, because I kind of did the same thing recently with one of the Fate modular barrel things that when it broke on me the second time. So you're gonna notice probably that this is looking like a rough cut, and it is. However, when you put the back cover on this, you're not gonna see it. So it'll literally be out of view, and it's going to be part of the internal of the blaster. Now, if I had the time and I didn't want to deafen you all, I would take my sander and sand that down, but it is what it is. There we go. Should be fine. All right, now off with you. And off with you. Now, if I was making this for myself, I would probably do a spring swap now, but like I said, this is probably going to be sold to a cosplayer. over in Grafton, so they're probably not going to need a high power spring in it. Of course, if I sell this on my store, it will be upgraded with K25 or K26. Where's that spring go? There it is. That spring. I forgot the safety switch. Oh well, that's easy to fix. Not like it really matters. There we go. Get the heck in there. Get in your home. There you go. All right. Hasbro and their stupid frickin' springless triggers that they were so fond of. All right, now let's see here. This bottom piece goes right here. Right. We're pretty much done. Why are you not wanting to put it there? Get in there properly. There we go. You know, let me tell you something. Do not question my ability to burn myself, even without soldering. Do not question me. I will find a way to do it because you see this right here. Here's a lighter. As long as this is near me, I may burn myself somehow. See, good. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that burns himself while soldering. Though, AJ, if it helps, I already burnt myself once today. I didn't burn, well, I didn't really burn myself necessarily, but kind of, so to speak. I was grilling, and my grill got to be like 500 degrees at one point. And when I went to go pick up the patties that because I was grilling some burgers, and when I went to go get the patties off the grill, my spatula got really freaking hot, the handle did, and I was like, oh geez. Like, my kid saw me, he's like, Dad, I've never seen you jump back like that before from the grill. I'm like, yeah, because it's really hot. Yep. Though I did think of you, AJ, the other night. I know that's going to sound really weird, but my dog, we have a bowl that like circulates water for the dogs, and my shepherd, the puppy, she chewed through the USB cord that powers it, and my wife was like, hey, you know, this broke, you need to fix this. Meanwhile, I am literally in my kitchen with my 3D printer opened up because I'm having to fix stuff there. And I was like, all right, well, I mean, I'll see if I can solder it. It's just a power cord. I mean, it's just, you know, positive and negative. Can't be any different than modding a Strife. So I managed to actually solder that without burning myself. And I was gonna message you and be like, ha, you see, I didn't burn myself while soldering. So I'll be honest with you, I may do one of these as my next giveaway. Which should be soon. I only need 16 more subscribers till my next giveaway, guys. I'll be at 600 subs at that point in time, which will be a good little milestone for me, I guess. Seeing as this year I've slowed down significantly with content creation, mainly because I was planning to open my store. Now this part you would normally glue down here, just because that way it holds down properly, because once you start firing this piece will fly off. Oh no. Alright, well, looks like I gotta do a little trimming on this part right here, just so that it fits in here properly, because it's too tight of a fit in here, and that's okay. This is the part where I cut myself. Whoops. That should be enough. Come on, get in there. Not enough, just a little bit more? Okay. A little bit more on the top. Okay, I see why that's not fitting. Right here, that little piece. Let's see if I can get my snips again. Okay. Okay, one side fits in here now. It is not wanting to stand still. This is the part about this that I hate. There we go. I need to check my printer tolerances because that needs to fit in there a little easier. I can probably just unscrew this a little bit. Get slip in and then retighten, like so. And that is that, as they say. Your Fallout laser pistol. So, real quick, easy mod once you get it printed. Now, the way this actually works, let me go get some darts. I'll show you. So, of course, just standard inline clip, you load it from the front. It does take 4 half darts or 2 standard length darts or 3 3/4 length darts. And you just prime, fire, 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 fire. And that's it. Fallout laser pistol, 3D printed. I will be actually selling this one at Grafton. The sale price on it, like this, just the kit, is going to be right around $35. That includes the blaster itself. Of course, if I modify it and upgrade it, it'll be, you know, $45 for the upgraded spring. And then if you want it painted, which, you know, you've seen my paint jobs before, I'll show you one that's painted. That price I need to set. Wait right there, I'll get you what the painted one looks like. So these are my painted versions of them. This one is my personal one for my LARP use. And this one is another one that I made, my first one that I did painted with a color shifting paint on the main body of the blaster. And then of course I didn't have yellow filament, so I just acrylic painted this right here. This one actually has a modified spring on it. This was the first time that I built one, that's why it kind of looks a little sloppy. But yeah, it has an upgraded spring on it. This one with the upgraded spring, I'm probably gonna have to check the seal on it because it's only hitting like right around 120. This one hits 100, so you know, I'm happy with this. It's for LARP purposes. Now let me answer the questions really quick. So the files are not mine to sell. That's the thing. These files are free. They're available on Thingiverse, and they were designed by, I believe his name is Matt King. He designed this, and he designed the Fallout rifle. These were actually the remixes of the inline clip, and you know, of those things, that the license for these, for the laser pistols, it's free for you to use commercially. That's why I'm not going to sell the file, because that would be morally wrong. I'm actually going to be selling the actual prints. So the files are on Thingiverse. You know, just do a quick search that says Fallout laser pistol, and you'll see a picture of a Fate. It looks like this, but with gray instead of white. By all means, you know, those who have access to a 3D printer can print them. This took me about a day to print. So, you know, it's one of those things. I'm never going to claim to actually design the file. He did make another one, though, that I really want to reach out to him because I would love to be able to sell this one. Let me show you this one. Because this is the one for the Forerunner. And this one actually does work. And it shoots rival rounds. So, yeah. Really proud of the way this one came out. So, but yeah. This one, I had to actually get a close friend of mine, Dave, to actually print out this front piece, because at the time all I had was an A1 Mini, and the rest of it pretty much prints on an A1 Mini, except for this monstrous piece right here, because that you need a larger print bed. This part right here, I was able to split the file in half and created a coupler that actually holds the two files together. That's why that's there. And the same thing I did with this piece up here. I was able to split the file in half and print it out on my A1 Mini. So, although I do like the way it looks, it has a very futuristic sci-fi feel. This one might be coming with me to Athens for the HVZ, just because of the fact that it is a Fallout-based HVZ, and hey, laser rifle. Yeah, I would love to be able to tell Matt King, you know, hey, give me the license for this to print it out and sell it. And I would give him gladly 15% of what I sell for this for, because this right here, for a Fallout fan, it's not unheard of to sell this for $120. Mainly because of the fact that how much work goes into it. And yeah, I mean, this was a lot of work going into this, and I'm not gonna dare compare it to something that Al the Geek makes, but it speaks for itself when it comes to the coolness factor of it. I've not seen a Fallout-based blaster like this on his store yet. I would love to, and if he did, I'd probably buy it. So yeah, I would not be surprised if this is something like this sold for $100, $150. At which point in time, the designer would get roughly, what, 20, 25 bucks out of that sale. So you know, I probably am shortchanging myself on this thing. The truth of the matter is that I look at it this way. I'm a thrifty person. You know, I value my time. I have fun doing this. So it's not like a job for me. This is more of a, hey, it's on the side kind of a thing. Now, if somebody was to tell me, you know, hey, if I was to do market research, they're like, hey, I'd pay like $150, $200 for that. I might, you know, do the price up there. I know that with these, the ones that I'm painting, I'm gonna price them at 75, painted over in Grafton. And if someone seems hesitant, I'll haggle, and then based on what I'm gonna get from that is what I'll do for my actual store itself. Because I'll be honest with you, you saw how quickly I put this together. You know, the print time is what was the pain in the butt for this. And even then, I mean, just this alone, this right here, I could easily sell this for $40, $45 and be like, listen, you can take this home, paint it yourself. It's already assembled, and I can even show them how to do this. In fact, this live stream is going to be made public and viewable. That way they can actually watch how to put it together and how to take it apart, because it's just watching it in reverse. So the painting on this, let me tell you, this did not take that long to paint. I mean, yeah, it obviously, because you rattle can and that's it. This was mainly rattle canned. The most time-consuming part for me, and it took about maybe 2 or 3 hours, was going with acrylic, because all of this is acrylic right here. All these highlights are all acrylic paint. Yeah, you know, and that's the part that took the most. So a brushless something or the other. You sound like me. I am planning on doing something brushless as well. I just need to learn that skill set. People ask me why I want to do brushless. I'm like, because it's a new skill set. I've never done it before, and once I do it, I'll know how to do it again. You know, it's kind of like, you know, modifying a brush motor blaster. It's like, okay, you do one, and next thing you know, you go full auto, and once you do full auto, you kind of get the hang of it. And then you learn about bucks and the lights and the sounds. It's like, okay, well, now I know how to do that. So let me go ahead and put this up real quick. So anyways, yeah, that's the thing, is that so it's funny, I remember reading you're a sysadmin. My background, what I went to school for, was actually doing database administration. So when it comes to coding, I'm pretty familiar with it. You know one coding language, it's easy to pick up on the other ones. You know, I know SQL, BASIC, know a little bit of Python, and oddly enough, Cobalt as well. So what's going on, Sam? I am. So what you missed out on was me building one of these. You know, basically took apart the Fate, put the 3D printed parts, showed how it works, and this is actually a laser pistol. If you go to the Athens HVZ in October, I can probably provide you with one of these for, you know, purposes. So yeah. Yeah, please. Yeah, I would love for you to test me and give me some numbers on it. Yeah, so basically you're like me. In other words, you put that in your resume and it's not an IT job, they're still gonna hire you, because they're like, oh, wait a minute, this guy knows coding. I can't tell you how many times I've been hired for my DBA skills, and they're like, oh, you know how to handle databases? I'm like, yeah. They're like, well, we have a problem with our IT department. I'm like, yeah, just give me the access to it. I'll fix whatever their mess up is. Because I'm surprised at how, I don't want to say incompetent, but how ignorant a lot of the entry level in-house IT folks are at a lot of companies when it comes to their externally built databases that they use. So it's like, oh, you guys skipped out on that part of your IT degree. Let me see it. So, yeah, that's the truth. You run into that as well. I'll share this story really quick. Not Blaster related, but I had a previous position where when they found out that I knew Microsoft Access, which I know a lot of people are like, oh God, Access. When I told them what I could do with Access, since Access basically allows you to use anything, was that I was able to take 3 separate database designs that they had, 3 separate programs that they used, and import all of their data into Access and spit it out onto one report that pulled data from 3 different locations. And that way they had everything on just one sheet instead of having to look at 3 different reports. That was a fun little project that I developed, and yeah, it's kind of funny when you save a company, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they're still like, don't appreciate you. So it's like, all right, that's what I say. All right. So yeah, but there you have it, folks. Fallout Laser Pistol. These will be on sale on my store, which again, it is the Big Blaster Consortium, and that is on Etsy. And I will be having a whole bunch of other different designs here soon. I'm actually printing out one right now that is for the Viper. That is the ZWQ S200 S Viper. It's a magazine holder and display stand for it. That was actually designed by Tag, and he's given me permission to print them out and sell them, and he's going to be getting commission of each one that I sell as well. If you go to Gims Mods, he actually did a short where he displays the one that I built for him, and the one that I built for him, when you see it, I will warn you, that was a prototype where I ran out of filament on one part. That's why there's one part that has 2 different filament colors, because it was printing overnight, and my printer decided to say, yeah, we're just going to automatically go to the next roll, instead of, alerting me that, hey, I had run out of filament in that one slot. But one thing that I will point out about that thing is that putting it together, because of the way that Tag designed it, it is friction fit, and there's footage of me, and Gimsmods can attest to this because he saw me do it on Messenger with him watching, of me banging the thing with a hammer and it refusing to break. So again, that tells you the solid of the prints. And again, want to let you all know here that there is a lifetime guarantee on anything I print, limited, as long as you're not actively trying to purposely break it or do something you're not supposed to do with it, like, using a Scar barrel as a stabby stick during Nerf play. You would actually just let me know, and I'll gladly reprint you one and send it out. All you have to do is pay for the shipping at that point. So, but that's how it can work. I see more stuff coming up in the chat. Let me get my glasses back on. Oh, okay. No, you can't leave my prints in a hot car, unfortunately. Though I will tell you, most of my stuff is PETG that I use. Very rarely do I use PLA, only because of the fact that I like the flexibility of PETG. And given the printers I have now, I may switch over to actual ABS printing. So you can leave them in a hot car, just not in direct sunlight. So yeah, I did, oddly enough, run into an issue with my Barnacle build where I left it in a hot car, and the PLA did not warp on the outside. What warped, oddly enough, was a connector part, and that I was able to reprint again. So yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. That's the good thing with one of the things I love about the bamboo slicer, and I mean, I guess Orca does the same thing. Is that you just tell it what filament it is, and it automatically tunes everything when you slice it. It's like boom. All right, these are the settings. It prints out. It's dummy proof. Um, so respawn. Where do you live exactly? What state do you live in, if you don't mind me asking? Iowa. Iowa. Okay. I'm not sure if Iowa is one of the states, but if you go to bidfta.com, um, that's a website where they basically you can auction on returns to Amazon. That's where I got both of my filament dryers from for like less than $10 a pop, and they both work fine. So just I don't know if there's a bid FTA warehouse in Iowa, but if it's there, hey, reach out. You know, look it up because you can get some really good deals there. I've bought in like a whole buttload of stuff from there. It's like, all right, you know, let's see what people have returned to Amazon that's brand new, basically. Um, I've gotten quite a few motors from there because I was able to scalp them off of the Nerf Pro Sender, which has surprisingly beefy motors and flywheels. And yeah, like I'm talking like I'm paying like $2 so for a brand new Nerf Sender. So I have a collection of magazines and darts. Like, all right, what am I going to use this for? I don't know. If in case I ever run a torrent, I have 6 extra torrent mags. So, I I don't know Bill personally, but I you know obviously his channel CR Nerf. That's yeah. I know of him. I don't know him personally, but yeah. I would like to go to the event that he's doing this year. Unfortunately, I cannot justify the drive for a 3-hour event. But I do wish everybody who actually goes there to have a great time. I think it's going to be in August that he's having that the 200 or 250 FPS cap game. I if I was closer, I would be more than happy to drive. Unfortunately, 8 hours for a 3-hour game is not in the cards for me. Unfortunately, I wish it was, but. Um, Oh, what time are you going to be in town, AJ? Oh, okay, so it's 2 events. All right. All right. Well, maybe that changes things. All right. Well, unfortunately, I apologize. I do have a lunch date tomorrow, but what? Well, let me see here. What route are you going to be taking? Or are you going to be coming in from 70, or are you going to be coming in from south? 71 south from Akron. Okay. Call me as you're entering the Columbus area or message me, and I can I can meet you wherever you're at. And that way I can drop off that sender to you. Uh, just to let y'all know, I mean, for those of you watching, AJ, he wanted to transplant the internals of a sender into a Raven. I believe it was for his daughter, maybe. Um, and like I said, I collect senders like yeah, because the motors. I have an extra one that I'm going to be giving to him and be like, here you go, have fun, you know, enjoy desoldering and resoldering these things. So, dude, if you want to get rid of that, I will take it gladly. That thing's awesome. Gladly, I'll take that. I'm. Shame on her for not wanting that, dude. That thing's awesome. Like, what's wrong with her? I'm joking. Joking. Howdy, General Strife. So, So, Strife, with your you come bearing leaks. Well then, leak away. And if Bots and Blasters is still listening, please read away because your show's up tomorrow. Purple Blaster Corn. Okay. So Blaster Corn was a skin. I'm digging that. I like purple. Is the next leak going to be that the AEB is dropping next week at Myers first because it's not going to be hitting Walmart until August? So I did see the Mayhem line, and in fact, here's one. I'm going to beat you to this one, General Strife. The Mayhem line, they're actually calling it the Skewer, not the Twist Fury. They're literally going to call it the Skewer as part of the Mayhem line. So I keep my ear to the ground. Sorry. But hey, no, I didn't know about the Purple Blaster Corn. That's cool. Oh, man. Now I'm excited. What's the line from Django? Yeah, you had my attention. Now you got me interested, gentlemen. So just to let you all know, this is nothing has officially been announced yet. All right. I have a contact that is in close to the distribution center for Myers in the Midwest, and Myers is a Midwest company where they saw the actual tag for the AEB on the shelf, and it is priced at $79.99, so it's going to be $10 more than what the list price is. However, it's already it's already there on the shelf, but the blaster's not there. Now, the last time that happened, and I saw that here in my local Myers, was when the Mirage dropped. That they had the SKU ready about a week and a half to 2 weeks prior, and they just left it uncovered. They forgot to cover it back up, so to speak. You know, so if you all don't work, I've never worked inside of a retail store. They'll put the barcodes there on the shelves, and then they'll flip the label over so you can't see them. And then when they put the product on the shelf, they flip it over so it's already there. It's when they do planograms. Apparently, somebody didn't do that. They didn't flip it over. They just left it there where it's at, which means that they are about to get it. So this news that we heard about August might not be true. August might only be for the Walmart and or Target release. I think that Myers is going to get it first, and it makes sense for one reason. Zuru's headquarters in the U.S. is in Minneapolis. So because of that, I'm pretty sure it's in Minneapolis. So because of them being a Midwest base here in the U.S., they might be actually going to Myers first this time. So well, here's what we'll do, guys. If I see it in any local Myers, and again, just to give you an idea, what I do every single morning, myself and Games Mods, this gives you an idea when it comes to the research that we do for our channels. I do a check across all of the major sites at 5 o'clock in the morning, at noon, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and at 10 o'clock at night. I am going to Amazon, I'm going to Walmart, I'm going to Target, I'm going to Myers, I'm going to M416, I go to AK Blaster Mods, I go to Worker Mod, I go to all of those websites to see what's going to drop. And I do that 3 or 4 times a day. There's a reason why I don't get that much sleep. And I try to stay ahead of things because of the fact that you kind of have to in this game. In fact, myself and Games Mods, we usually toss things back and forth to each other be like, hey, this is, did you see this? And it's like, usually we've seen it. So yeah, if I see it, I will break the news and let y'all know, be like, hey, it's out. Because again, it's already out in Canada, it's already been out in the UK. We should be the next one to get it. Yep, so the Primus is already out in Australia, and there's already issues with it. So, just to let you all know. And I will tell you, the Tomcat, oh gosh. Let's just put it this way. The Tomcat returning is further proof, in my humble opinion, and please feel free to shit on me if you're a Dart Zone fanboy, because I will take you to task. The Dart Zone re-releasing is further proof that Dart Zone's really is willing to just lay down in 2025 and let X-Shot take their lunch money, because that is what's happening right now. If Respawn, if I see it, that's not a problem. I'll trust me. I will be more than happy to tell people, hey, here's my PayPal. Send me the money. I will get it out to you. I don't call myself an international, and I know you're not international, but I don't call myself an international foam arms dealer for no reason. I've sent stuff to Germany. I've sent stuff to Australia before. I sent something to Indonesia one time and to Canada. So there you have it. And yes, I know the sarcasm there about the Mark III drive system, but apparently it was something just with the wheels and the electrical system, that I want to say it was Rex that noticed something, but it is what it is. So, but that being said, guys, I did the live. It was to show you guys how this was built. If you are interested in one of these, let me know. Mainly the people that are here watching me do the live stream are probably part of the Gentry chat, and Gentry members will be getting a discount on anything that I sell via my Etsy store. And what do you guys think? Do you guys think this would make, mind you, if I painted it, would you all think that this would be good for a giveaway or what? So Ghost, the Gentry of Extraordinary Foam Flingers. It is a chat on Facebook. It's a group on Facebook where we don't take ourselves seriously. We all have a little bit of knowledge about the Nerf hobby, and we just goof off and share stuff with each other. We share tips and tricks and whatnot throughout the community. And a lot of the times it's a lot of voice chats that go back and forth and just us joking around. So for example, just I can give you some major names that are in it. AJ was a member until Facebook shadow banned him from it. Myself, I know that you also run into people such as Gims Mods in there, Bots and Blasters, and Chris Cartea as well. So my Etsy shop's name, it is the Big Blaster Consortium. So just go to Etsy and just type in Big Blaster Consortium. I'll probably post a link on my YouTube bio here soon. Again, I'm not trying to promote my channel on Etsy, but I'll promote my store on my channel, if that makes any sense. I am, quote unquote, the face of the consortium. The consortium itself, it's actually consisting of multiple people that are bringing their designs in one shop. I just happen to be the printer that's actually getting it and doing all the listing and everything else like that. Right now there's only one item that's listed on here, mainly because of the fact that the next item that I'm printing out, I got to get photos of and put it on there, which, like I said, it's the Viper stand that's designed by Tag. And there's going to be a lot more stuff coming out, but when you go to the store, if you go to the store now, because it's a soft launch, you're going to see something that you'd be like, wait a minute, I know that from somewhere else. Well, tune into tomorrow to Foam After Dark, and you'll hear the general announcements, because, yeah, a couple of you might already know, but It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun. So yeah. I'll post a link on there. Don't worry. It's one of those things that you're probably not gonna find it because the Etsy is not generating the traffic yet. I literally just went live at 1 o'clock in the morning today. Was when the first listing went live. So it probably hasn't updated in their servers yet, hasn't updated in their searches, but I guarantee you it is there. People have been able to find it with the link. I will be providing a link in my actual YouTube channel here. So if you'll give me a second, I might be able to post it. Oh, thank you. All right. Yeah. So follow me on Etsy. You know, like I said, that way you'll get notified as new things come out. There's a lot of older files that existed in the community before that I'm going to be bringing back up for those of you, you know, because I've heard people say that, man, they wish that that was still available. And I'm going to be trying to resurrect a couple of things here, as well as I'm reaching out to a lot of international designers because of the fact that there's so much going on overseas that we don't see here in the US because of the fact that they don't have a print shop available. And you might be able to get STL files for them, but not everyone has a printer. So I'm actually working to reach out to a couple people that are gonna hopefully be able to allow me to license their designs so I can get them shipped here in the US. I do know that there's a couple of people in Australia that are interested in getting their designs here that were using another shop that got an ill reputation in the hobby. You know, someone could say that it is almost a pandemic of bad prints that came out of this shop. Hint, hint. So they're looking to get away from them completely, and we're looking for a reliable printer. And they've been speaking with me, so we'll see. You know, and the reason that it's called a consortium, just to let you all know, is because it's not just a singular effort. It's actually going to be a group thing. In fact, I have no problem sharing this right now. I have a couple of trusted people that I know that have access to printers that will have an NDA with me that if I ever have a case where like I can't print something out because I'm in the middle of doing another print, I can reach out to them and be like, here, you're getting a secondary commission for this, and they will provide the printing duties and it'll still get shipped out in a timely fashion. So that's why it's called a consortium. Are the blasters upside down? Are you talking about the image? Let me take a look here. No, those I will admit one thing. Oh, the Australia, oh God. Get out. God damn it. I'm here thinking that you're talking about the background image of my Etsy store if the blasters were upside down in them. Damn it. You bastard, you just dad joked to dad. Damn it. No, the Coriolis effect does not work on the blasters like that. So AJ, the blue and yellow AccuSaber, that one was the one that I made specifically for Survival Fest. So the ones that actually were given out at Survival Fest, I gave out a few of them. They unfortunately, I was going to try to sell a few there, but they came out to be a little bit of a misprint, which you can kind of notice if you're paying attention. This tells you about my personal print standards, is that if I notice it, I'm not going to make you buy it. So I gave them out to people for like, hey, listen, this is for Survival Fest. So it is Vault-Tec blue and yellow, and then they had orange tips. The one that you see there was the prototype that I printed out, where it's just the blue and yellow from Vault-Tec. In fact, I actually have it here in person. For those of you who haven't been to the store, you can actually see it. That is what it looks like on camera here. So it's another plan that I have with these is creating a run for people who are into the collegiate environment. So, for example, this could also work for fans of the University of Michigan. I can't honestly put the Michigan University or the M there, but by selling it in your school's colors, if you have a school-based Nerf event, you can actually run the AccuSaber in it. Because one thing I know about collegiate sports fans is that you are a fan for life, and yeah, your colors fly with you no matter where you are. I've never tried that before, but what I will tell you that someone's used before, Respawn, is somebody did use an air fryer as a filament dryer because it's the perfect size. You are correct, Ghost. You are correct. That's the tending attitude about your school. But you know that the big school next door, OSU, you damn well know that they freaking when you're an OSU graduate or an OSU fan, you bleed scarlet and gray or scarlet and whatever. So you would think that they would get too hot, but you could, if you get the ones with the adjustable settings, you could set it just to be at their lowest setting. It'll be proper for, I believe, PET G and PLA, because I want to say that the drying temperature for those is 70 degrees Celsius. So the lowest temperature that you can get with an air fryer is like right around 220, 230. Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, there you have it. Yeah, as long as you can get an adjustable temperature for an air fryer, you should be able to use that. You just don't leave it in there for long. So, but that being said, guys, we got the product done. I went ahead and announced my store. I am going to leave my live now. I do want to thank you all for watching. Again, really quick, I didn't get an answer. What do y'all think? Should this be one of my giveaway items for 600 or what? So we have AJ saying yes, that he thinks this would be a good idea. Now, what do you think? Like this or painted? You had to pull a Bully McGuire and say sorry. Oh, gotcha. Raw dog like it is. Well, for example, hold on one second. G-Rex, will you bring me the chronograph and a dart? So what I will check, though, real fast, there should be an Ember Strike dart somewhere around there. Did you find one?
No.
Oh, just give me 2 standard length darts then.
No, alright.
Having my minion find me darts if you can't tell. Chronograph this really quick with the stock spring because this one has a better seal than my original ones did.
Gen 3's work?
That'll work.
Alright.
Will this fire right now? Yeah. Will this fire N1s? No, it will not fire N1 because it is too tight of a fit for N1s. Though I could probably modify the file to fire N1s. I mean, just got to get the. That's 81. So 90 with Gen 3s. Is there a standard length dart somewhere in there in one of those bags? Give me one.
Elites.
Yes. Give me elites. $120 with standard length elite darts. So it with 2 shots you get HVZ compatibility. With 4 shots it's less. I wish that there was a reasoning for there being such a drastic difference between a standard size dart and the half length darts. What I can tell you is that the half length darts, you get 4 shots at roughly 80 to 90 FPS. With the full lengths, that's where you're hitting 110s to 120s. So, yeah. And one will conquer. You know, here's the thing. Y'all play, but I actually kind of enjoy the N1 darts, mainly because of the fact that they're very durable, and they're not that expensive. Actually, they're relatively inexpensive for compared to other Nerf darts. So that's max. So yeah, but yeah, there you have it. When I hit 600, that's what I'll be doing, is giving away one of these. So, but seriously, y'all, I want to thank y'all for hanging out the live. I appreciate it. You know, don't forget, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. I'm pretty sure you guys have already subscribed to my channel. And also go ahead and favorite the shop. That way you can actually stay abreast as to all the cool things that are coming out. If you haven't already, I would ask, go ahead and actually give Gims Mods a follow, because I'm going to be using his channel as well to promote some of the stuff that I make. Some of you may find this interesting given the history. I may eventually actually send something to Captain Xavier and to Dr. Flux, see if they'll be willing to say, hey, you know, give this a shot. Some of the items, I'm not entirely sure how that will work, but definitely with Gims Mods, he's going to be helping me when it comes to those things. He's my play tester, so to speak, as well as a couple of people out there. So, but yeah, thank y'all for watching, and that's it, y'all. I mean, seriously, you guys are awesome. Until next time, keep on blasting.